It's a very meditative process when I'm working on the doodles, because I'm never really thinking about the doodles.
That's quite the statement about these doodles, coming from a man who goes by Mr. Doodles, the one who doodles these doodles.
Like, I don't see this in my head when I draw it. I just move my hand, and I'm just thinking about like completely different stuff, you know, like I'll be thinking about memories from when I was a kid, or like trying to work out what the next project's going to be, but I'm never really thinking about I'm going to draw an alien, now a robot, now a fish, and I never have it mapped out in my head because it's all coming from like the back of my head, like the subconscious, and I don't really know what's there. It's just kind of flowing out.
Well, seems kind of appropriate to be flowing out here, given that these egg-shaped pods he's doodling on are toilets. There's a place to wash one's hands and some fragrances to freshen the place up. Now, this isn't just your standard bar or gas station eagerly awaiting a fresh dollop of Sharpie. Mr. Doodle here is doodling away in the trendy London restaurant Sketch, a place that's been named one of the best restaurants in the world and has been transformed repeatedly in different creative and artistic styles. Now, as Wallpaper points out, in spite of all the artistic changes this place has seen over the years, those distinctive pod loos have remained unchanged since 2002. But this collaboration between Sketch and the gallery that represents Mr. Doodle is transforming these pristine white spaces into something much, much more colorful. It took about a week to get all this stuff covered in doodles of flowers, hearts, squiggly lines, and his name over and over again. But time moves quickly when you're a doodler who appreciates his own doodles.
And I'm the audience for it when it happens as much as anyone else is, so I just kind of watch it and entertained by it, and I just kind of lose myself, forget where I am, forget like what time of day it is, and just enjoy being in that kind of flow state.
Now, for those not watching this video from the comfort of a trendy toilet pod in London, Mr. Doodle is an English artist, real name Sam Cox, and his work has been seen and liked millions upon millions of times across social media. In this TikTok of him doodling up these bathrooms, CarEdit said, "Dude, this guy is so talented." That one kid that draws called him Bob Ross the sequel, and GuideShade wondered, does he like doodling?
I've always loved to doodle since I was a little kid, so I loved video games and cartoons, and I just was inspired by all the characters really, and I used to kind of create my own based on those characters, and I love to doodle over my bedroom walls and my parents' furniture, and they kind of encouraged me. Most of the time I got encouraged to doodle, except for when I was doodling on things that I probably wasn't supposed to, like you know, street signs or things like that. So I've always loved it, and it's always been a real passion of mine and felt very instinctive and kind of natural to gravitate towards.
Now, when it comes to his style of art, Mr. Doodle told the Associated Press that it doesn't always need to be perfect, as anytime there's a little mistake or something, he can incorporate it into his art as part of the process. Of course, not everyone's appreciative of the efforts of a guy who covered every square inch of his home in monochromatic scribbles. Sure, he's been commissioned by huge brands like Fendi, Puma, and Disney, and his work has long been compared to that of the late pop artist Keith Haring, though some have called Mr. Doodle's doodles a ripoff of that very aesthetic. Even though Mr. Doodle has called himself the rip-off Keith Haring, saying that he was his biggest inspiration for popularizing this bold line, character-based pop art style. Back in 2019 though, one Barstool Sports blogger even summarized their opinion of the man, who just doodles, 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 by writing succinctly, "Mr. Doodle, you piece of shit."
I think there's a lot of people in the art world that don't like this kind of thing, like doodles and things, and there's like strict things in their head that they think art should be, or there should be like some form of concept or message or something heavy or deep about an artwork, and I don't really see it that way, and I think there's a lot of people out there who also feel that way, who are also in the art world. So I think for some people they accept it, other people don't so much.
Well, considering he's had works of art sell for more than $1 million, for those who choose to embrace his whimsical scribblings, they'll remain on display as part of this sketch and doodle collaboration running through September 1st at this restaurant in London. Not just in the restrooms, but in the reception area too. And at the restaurant, he'll even be carrying out live doodles over the course of this month for viewers to enjoy, or at least help to kill some time while waiting for someone else to finish their time on the pot. In the meantime, check out this doodle I made. This one's free.